Good morning, Manners Talk Sessions. It is 7:40 a.m. Okay, and it is February the 17th. Why am I making this video so early in the morning? Well, because I had a random thought as I was looking in the mirror, halfway dressed, obviously. It's 7:40 in the morning. I was saying to myself, well, I wasn't really saying to myself, I was just hearing it. People are always giving people advice. People are always telling people what they shouldn't do, or what they shouldn't have, or how they shouldn't go about something. And one thing I noticed that people never do is tell you how you should. Y'all ever noticed that? Oh, I just heard my neck crack. Like, have you ever noticed how people are like, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, but they don't say you should do this, you should do that. Like, don't just give the advice when it's either negative or critical, which critical does not always mean negative, but don't just give the advice when it's critical, when it's negative, especially if you don't give anybody any alternative. It's like you'll tell a person, don't do. But if that's what they're used to doing, or that's all they've ever known to do, or that's all they've ever seen to do, what makes you think they are going to listen to you? Like, really, seriously, what makes you think a person's not going to resort to nature? That's their nature, what they know, even if it's not what they normally do, if that's what they've been taught, or if that's what they've seen. What makes you think they're going to give 2 red cents about anything that you're talking? And then when they go and do it, the first thing you say is, I told you so. Actually, you didn't. Actually, you didn't tell them so, because to tell them so will be to tell them what to do, or give them some type of advice. I mean, you can't really tell anybody what to do, but to direct a person. How are you helping someone when you don't give them any direction? You just say, this is the wrong way. Imagine traveling down a road, 4 states over, and you're like, crap, my GPS is not working out here. I have no cell service. I didn't bring a map, and you pull over at the nearest gas station and you say, hey, I'm headed, to California. Can you please tell me, am I going the right way? Or, and the person says to you, no, that's not the right way. Don't go that way. That's not the right way. And then walks off. Don't give you any direction. They just tell you what it's not and walk off. Now, one might say, well, if this is not the right way, then it's obviously this way. Wrong. That's not the answer either. Because sometimes you take a different route or make a wrong turn. But you need more than, hey, go down this street here. What happens at the end of the road? What happens at the dead end? You need directions. Directions isn't go left or go right. No, directions is a pattern, a path to take. But in the freak, I know y'all saw that. Anyway, wrong channel for that. I put down my other channel. But, a path. direct a path. Even when in scripture it says he'll make your path straight, he'll direct your path. In Proverbs 3, lead and guide me in the way I should go. Please direct my path. It's like you don't just tell somebody no and don't give them a reason. It's even the reason why a lot of teenagers make the mistakes that they make, because you tell them don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, this and that, and then you don't feel like you need to explain yourself because you're an adult, you're grown up, you're the parent. It's like, oh, because I said so. Well, they don't give a rat's tail what you said. Especially in the heat of the moment with all the peer pressure around them and stuff like that. They don't give a crap what you're talking about unless you give them a reason. What natural human doesn't want reasons? If we don't need reasons, why do some people spend their life searching for answers? Why do scientists devote their lives to research? Because we all desire answers. We all want answers to some degree. If somebody stepped out on you, you will want to know why. Even if you're like, screw it, I'm out of here. That may be your reaction, but deep down inside, you don't really have the closure because you don't understand what went wrong. As a teenager, you tell your kid, don't do drugs. But if you don't say it can ruin your life, or look at this person, or, what happens if you get this high and once that high is gone, you spend your life trying to attain the next high or something like that. You're craving, or you're addicted. Or if you don't explain, they're going to dabble. If you tell your kid, don't have sex till you're married. Well, I see everybody else having sex. Ain't nothing happening. You don't explain to them the dangers of being promiscuous or whatever the case may be. If you don't explain to them, they're not listening. You know what I'm saying? Even another example, which y'all may not agree, that's fine, okay? But Adam and Eve in the Bible. God gave Adam orders. Then Adam's responsibility was to relay those orders over to his wife. Okay? And God told Adam, don't eat of the tree in the midst of the garden. Well, when Adam told his wife not to eat a tree in the midst of the garden, you know what he said? Don't eat of the tree in the midst of the garden. Neither shall you touch it, lest you die. It was his added on thing. Because God didn't tell Adam he couldn't touch that tree. He told him don't ingest it. Okay? There's a difference. But the same thing that happens when... That's how gossip gets turned around and things get, distorted and fabricated and things like that. But the point I'm trying to make is, he told her that. And then here comes this serpent. He comes up and he's more than likely... Here's my mouse, y'all. This is the serpent. This is the tree. And this is the serpent. Okay? Did God surely say you couldn't touch of the tree in the midst of the garden? You know what I'm saying? And she's looking like, he touching it. There's where the doubt come in at. And where's the sin come in at? The doubt. She gets the harsher punishment. Okay? Because that's another story. But that's another story for another day. Okay? But the truth is, you tell a person not to do it, and so it makes them wonder why. Why can't I touch the tree if he can rub all over it? Why can't... I'm just being imaginative here, okay? Where else was a snake gonna be at talking to Eve? He had to be in that tree, right? I don't care if he was a lizard. She wasn't just looking down going, oh, lizard, I shouldn't touch that tree. Come on. I'm just saying, as human beings, we tend to want answers. Okay? So, if you're that person that people are always going to for advice, I urge you not to give them a yes or no, you should or shouldn't do this thing. Direct them. And if you don't know how to direct them, maybe it's not your place to be telling them what they should and shouldn't be doing, because you don't even know. You don't even have the answers. If you tell somebody, no, you shouldn't be doing this, well, what should I be doing? Case in point. Another case in point, okay, before I get ready to end the video, so, okay. Case in point. There's a child whose parents are on drugs. And, they live in a very rough neighborhood, okay? And the child gets wrapped up and involved in the wrong set of friends, okay? But the friends, they're a little gang. They all look out for each other, And this poor little boy, he gets bullied because he doesn't have anything fresh, new, clean, or anything. Maybe he's 10 years old, okay? And his parents are strung out on drugs. So he goes and he gets involved in this crowd because he's tired of being bullied. He's tired of not knowing where his next meal's going to come from. Gets involved with this wrong crowd, starts selling drugs just so he can put food on the table, just so he can feel like he can take care of himself and his parents. And then this kid crosses you and tells you, well, I'm doing this to survive. You might not be able to take care of this kid. We don't know. But what do you say to this kid? Do you say to this kid, you shouldn't be selling drugs? It's wrong. You're too young, blah, 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 blah. Or do you give this child some guidance on what they could do, where they could go, how they could receive the help? If your parents ain't doing all right, there's this program, There's this, there's that. So the point I'm trying to make is, before you stand around casting judgment and giving bad advice, and the advice may be good, it may be good advice, but it's bad if you don't give any guidance, you don't give any direction. What makes you think that kid's going to stop when that kid's hungry, when that kid feels like now they can put food on the table for them and their younger sibling? What makes you think they're going to listen to you? If you're that person that are like, yeah, that's true, that was me, that was my story, that's what I'm saying, that's what I've been saying all along, I'm here to tell you that just because a person doesn't have the answers to all your questions don't mean that you don't search them out, don't mean you don't seek out what is an alternative to this. And nowadays we have the internet. You could easily say, hey Google, what's the alternative to selling drugs? I don't know what's going to come up. I'm just saying, what's the alternative to prostitution? I could probably give you a crap load of different suggestions, but at the same token, it's your job to search out a matter. Nobody can make you do anything, But I wouldn't advise going to people who are not doing well themselves. Clearly you're not in the same, in a different predicament than you yourself, or haven't been down that road before. At the end of the day, we all have to do our part. We can't just tell people yes, no, right or wrong. We have to direct people. We have to guide people, especially in times like this. People don't have that. They need guidance. They need direction. They're craving for it. They're lost. They want answers. Answers that a lot of us don't even have. But it's our job to search out a matter. And sometimes you have to go deep within yourself to even get to the heart and the root of the situation. Sometimes you got to go deep to get those answers. You might be like, why am I like this? Why am I so angry all the time? Maybe you should spend time with yourself. Meditation. Shut out the world. Cut off your social media. Go ghost for a little bit. And just say, I'm going to spend, I don't know, 3 nights, 4 days of just myself, just loving on myself, just taking a bath, just eating some fruit, doing a cleanse, just maybe drinking some wine, maybe just flushing myself out with water, or some type of vegetable or fruit water or something like that. Like, the point is, I was just standing there and I was thinking, why is it that people always give people a yes or no, or you should or shouldn't, but never guide and direct? And I myself, for anybody who personally knows me, that's not like me at all. I always try to give some type of guidance and direction. But you know what I get accused of? I get accused of preaching at people. They feel like when you start trying to break it down in layman's terms, alphabetical order for them, that now you're preaching, now you're going on, now you're prolonging. You know why that is? Because they don't have the mental capacity or the self-discipline or focus or perspective to see where I'm coming from, to hear me out. They don't have the patience for themselves. It's a reflection of them. And they don't even realize it. They think, oh, well, she's preaching. This is why I started this channel. Because there's some things that need to be talked about. And this is one of those things that need to be talked about. If a person doesn't want to listen, they're free to go. At any given time, it doesn't matter if they're sitting directly next to me. Somebody needs to say it. Things need to be said and somebody needs to say it. And I'm going to be the person that says it, whether it's brutally honest or compassionately honest or whatever the case may be, because we can't sugarcoat. People's lives are at stake. People's lives are on the line. And, I'm not perfect. They're not perfect. It's not about perfection. It's not about the mistakes. It's not even really about the situation. It's about yourself and how you see things. And, at the end of the day, I'd rather have somebody preaching truth and direction and guidance to me than to just be like, no, I don't think that's right. And keep it rolling. What are you supposed to do? You tell a person, hey, I want to go to college. I don't know what for. I want to do this, and that. Well, what do you want to do in life? I want to do this, and that. Oh, okay. Well, shoot, just go seek out some applications. That's not guidance and direction. If somebody told me, I love music and this and that, I would be like, have you looked at Juilliard? Have you looked at Harvard? Have you looked at, give them some names, give them some suggestions. But see, if you start doing that and say, hey, you should go to the admissions office and da-da-da, now you're preaching at them. That's how they feel. If you don't have the mental capacity to at least hear out a matter, you're already screwed. Think about that. Back's itching, I'm sorry. Think about that. Now it's 7:58 in the morning. It was 7:40 when I started. 18 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this video. But I just want to give y'all something to think about today. Try to focus more on the answer, the solution, not the yes or the no's or necessarily even the whys. Why is something we all want to know. Even 2-year-olds, why? And why are they asking why? Because they are urging you to tell them something. They are sponges. They are desiring to learn something. We don't ever stop desiring to learn until we've given up on ourselves. And if you have given up on yourself, I'm going to urge you to see yourself better than that, because you too much. You too much to give up on. You here for a reason. We all are. And I really pray that y'all have a wonderful day and think about these things.